This is Algebra 1, Unit 2, Lesson 1 on solving 1 and 2 step equations. We're going to start easy with the one-step equations. I know this is a review of pre-algebra. So our goal is to isolate the variable. We want to get this x by itself. And so we're going to do the inverse operation. We're going to do the opposite. So the opposite of addition is subtracting, and that's going to get our x by itself. But remember, whatever we do to the left side of the equation, we have to do it to the right side of the equation to keep it balanced. So I'm getting x equals -5. We could easily check that by substituting it back in. In place of x, I'm going to put -5 plus 4 equals -1. I get -1 equals -1. We did it correctly. Opposite of subtraction is addition. So if I add 9 to both the left-hand side, I have to add it to the right-hand side, and I would get x equals 11. And remember, in algebra, when the variable is right beside the constant, that's multiplication. So the opposite of multiplication, we're going to go ahead and divide each side by 5. So you get x equals 5. And of course, the last one, x divided by 5, the opposite of dividing by 5 is going to be multiplying by 5. You get x equals 10. We could easily check that. Is 10 divided by 5 2? Sure, 2 equals 2. We did it correctly. Let's bump it up a little bit. Let's go to two-step equations. When we do two-step equations, we want to do the inverse of the please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. We want to do the order of operations backwards. So we first want to get rid of any addition subtraction we have. So that's what we're going to do here. To get rid of that plus 10, we're going to subtract 10 from each side. So we get 6x equals 12. Once we're done with addition subtraction, we're going to move on to multiplication division. Divide each side by 6. It looks like x is going to be 2. Okay, next one, we have addition and division. So we have to get rid of that addition first by subtracting 2 from each side. Now to get rid of that divide by 4, we know we're going to do the opposite, or multiply by 4. So it looks like a is going to be 16. Again, we can easily check that if we wanted to substitute it back in. All right. If you see a division bar like this, remember that's considered a grouping symbol. So we first have to get rid of the 3 before we can take care of the plus 9, because the plus 9 is considered in parentheses. So let's first multiply both sides by 3 to get rid of that divide by 3. Boom, now it's gone. Now we have v plus 9 equals 24. Let's get rid of that 9, so it looks like v is 15. We can easily check that. Let's substitute it back in. So we have 15 plus 9 divided by 3. Does that give us 8? 15 plus 9 is 24. 24 divided by 3 does give us the 8 we're looking for. All right, here we go again. Let's get rid of the subtraction by adding 5. We've got to get rid of addition subtraction first. Oops. So that gives us 1 equals r over 20, or divide by 20. Opposite of dividing by 20 is going to be multiply by 20. So it looks like r is going to give us 20. All right, let's bump it up a little bit more. We're going to throw in combining like terms and distributive property. So if you see like terms first, we're going to combine those together first before we do anything else. So I'm going to carry my -12 down. I'm going to carry my 3 down. And remember that minus goes with the 2k. So I have -2k minus 3k. The signs are the same. When the signs are the same, you add them together and attach the common sign. So -2k minus 3k gives us -5k. Now we're back to our two-step equations. Don't look behind it, look in front of it. This is a positive 3. In order to get rid of a positive 3, we have to subtract 3. The minus behind it goes with the 5, not the 3, so don't be tempted to use that. So that gives us -15 equals -5k. Now we divide each side by -5, and it looks like we're going to get k equals 3. What about distributive? Let's distribute before we go any further. Well, we could do it two ways. Well, let's distribute first. So we get 9x minus 18 equals 18. We're going to add 18 to both sides, get rid of that minus 18. So we get 9x equals 36, and we're going to divide each side by 9, and we get 9 times 4 is 36. Another way you could do this, maybe you learned this way and prefer this way, I'll just go over it with you. Maybe you said, hey, that's multiplication. I can quickly get rid of that multiplication by dividing. Absolutely. We could have divided right away, boom, and got rid of that first 3, and that would give us 6. Add 6 to both sides. We get 3x equals 12. Divide each side by 3, and we got the same answer. So whatever you prefer to do, you're not breaking any math rules. All right, let's try the last one. Thought for the grand finale, we're going to combine like terms and distribute. So we're first going to distribute. So I'm just going to copy the rest down. So we're distributing that positive 5. So that gives us plus 5x plus 30. Now that we did that, we need to combine like terms. Change colors so you can see a little bit better. We have a negative 3 and a positive 30. There are like terms. So that's going to give us positive 27 plus 5x. If you prefer your 5x first, you're allowed to do that. That's that commutative property we learned. Now let's get rid of that 27. We're going to subtract 27 from each side. And finally, divide each side by 5. It looks like x equals 2. All right, please try the practice problems. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.